Thank you, Jim. Branch managers, future branch managers, and new people. 20 years ago, every 6 weeks, I stood in this very room, on this very stage, teaching the Model T version of what you just saw Kent Larson do on the referral system. That was my job. I'm here to tell you, he blew my socks off because that thing has been so improved. He still has some of the same language we used back in Williams, but buddy, he has put turbochargers on that thing. So I can tell you, it worked then. It really was going to work now. I can't wait to use it. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 keys to making substantive change in our lives. You heard Kent, even on his slide presentation, he had my first point. Wasn't a big point, but he wrote it on his slide presentation. 33 years ago, I was sitting in a class. Man's name was J.R. Faulkner. J.R. Faulkner taught me a lot of things, but he taught me this one thing. He said, if you have enough why, you can endure almost any how. If you have enough why, you can endure almost any how. The reason Kent is successful is you heard his why. He had the why. How far down was he? He was successful because he had the why when the vehicle came along. Everything else is academic. How many times have we had a New Year's resolution, decided we're going to stop smoking, we're going to stop drinking, we're going to lose weight, we're going to get fit, we're going to learn to speak in front of some people, we're going to learn a new language? Every speaker you've heard here in the last 2 days, how many of you have been here for the last 2 days? Raise your hand. Every speaker you've heard for 2 days can improve on this stage, including the current one, except for one guy. Dave Montgomery is right now to perfect. The reason he's perfect is because he's bilingual. The reason I know that, I speak the same language. See, Dave and I are excellent in 2 languages. We speak English and we speak redneck. Now, I can improve, but he can't. He's got this thing down to a science, so I'm a student of his. I'm a student of Dave. Kent's a student of this business. But the success that comes in life, whether it be in football, basketball, business, your church, whatever it is, your relationships, comes primarily from number one reason. Do you have enough why to change? 20 years ago when I was on this room teaching a Model T version, we were killing trash value life insurance. Last 2 days, we've heard about a vehicle that no longer makes it trash value. Nothing is constant but change. 20 years ago, I stood here telling RVPs, branch manager equivalents, you can make $600 a year by selling $250,000 worth of term insurance. 9 years before that, when I started, the same person could make $600 a year selling $100,000 worth of term insurance. Today, last week, I made $600 selling $1.2 million worth of term insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing is constant but change. The reason it's no longer trash value life insurance is you don't make this much money for selling trash. The product that we learned about the last 2 days is different, and it's different, and it's a good thing. I don't want to change. Then you're going to be where you are. You're going to keep smoking. You're going to keep drinking. You're going to keep being unhealthy. You're going to keep being a non-branch manager making a lot of money. You've got to have enough why, ladies and gentlemen, and nobody can give you your why. You've got to discover your own why. That's point number 1. Point number 2. Once you have a why, once we decide what our why is, we don't even know what we don't know. I've spent the last 2 days with Tom Keener. If I've said that to him 1 or 2 or 3, 5 times, Tom, I don't know what I don't know. You got to help me. I know a bunch. I've been around for a good while, and I know enough to know I don't know what I don't know. What do we need if once we have the why and we want to make substantive change, we need a mentor. You have just heard a mentor up here before I got up here. Matter of fact, Kent and I have never said 2 words to each other ever in the history of the world. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And I'm telling you, he was a plant for my little 5-10 minute speech here. All right? He is a perfect mentor. He might not be yours. You might need a Tom Keener. You might need somebody that's bilingual. I don't know what yours is, but you don't know what you don't know if you're not doing what they're doing. If you're out there trying to stop smoking, find somebody that did it. If you're trying to lose weight and get healthy, find somebody that did it. You don't know what you don't know. Borrow their stuff. Borrow their want to, borrow their belief in you, borrow their knowledge. It's the second key. Your why will get you started. Finding a mentor will get you going for a week or a month. Still not good enough. How many times have we recruited someone, looked like they're going to set the world on fire, and then they disappeared? That person might have had the why and might have used you as the mentor, but then they're gone. You've got to use them. You can't cut out that step. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, if you want substantive change in your life, no matter if it's business, what it is, you've got to have enough why, and you must find someone that's done what you want to do, and you got to hook your wagon to them. Key number 3, and this is the biggie. This is the thing that will take you out for 2 years or 5 years or 10 years or 3 decades. You must become a mentor. If you want success, ladies and gentlemen, you must become a mentor as soon as you can. We're here at You First. We talk about You First Financial and You First Alliance. I submit to you, before you can talk about those two, you've got to think about you first. We have a system here that allows you to become a mentor quickly. Are you going to be a Kent? Are you going to be a Dave? Not right now, but you can be a mentor to someone. We pay us to recruit people, and we become a mentor. Now, why is it so key? Is it because you're so smart and you know everything there is to know? Obviously not. The reason that's important is we stay long-term in doing something. If we quit smoking, we continue to not smoke. If we quit drinking, we continue to not drink. If we get healthy, we continue to stay healthy, many times because of other people's belief in us, but really we're responsible to them. You think about it. How many times there's a guy I'm trying to recruit. The guy that brought me in the financial services business 29 years ago, I cannot recruit away from where he is because he is captive. He's captive to the clients he has because he's an investment advisor and they won't let him do something else. He says, I'm responsible to them. I brought them through the mayhem we're talking about ways to solve. He feels so responsible to them, he will not leave. Folks, that is what it takes for you to make it through the hard times. You understand, there's going to be nothing but change. This new product we got pays compared to what many of us have sold, if we've ever sold any trash value life insurance. It pays little bitty commissions. If you think for a minute we're going to always make $900 to $1,500 on an MMA, you are smoking something, ladies and gentlemen. The business market is going to change that for us over the next decade. But had I rather make one sale and make $1,500, or had I rather make 10 sales and make $300 for the same work? That's the difference between where I am right now in my primary business. I make the same thing selling $1.2 million as I used to make selling, $100,000. The same cash. Because the business market changes. If you think for a second you're not going to have challenges, that gas prices are not going to go up, come down. Real estate go up, come down. Mortgage rates go up, come down. People are going to quit on you because they don't have enough why. They didn't find a mentor. They didn't become a mentor. If you think for a second that that's not going to change, you are smoking something. There's nothing constant but change. But here's the bottom line. How are you going to make substantive change in you, no matter what it is, business or other things? You've got to determine, do you have enough why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have enough why, you will not do what Kent did to be able to come up with the wonderful thing he's come up with. If you don't have that, forget it. Number 2, who's going to teach you what you don't know, that you don't know? Number 3, when are you going to tie somebody that reports to you that you feel responsible for? It's not, hey, I'm going to recruit 100 people so that I get to override them. If I get 100 people, I'm responsible for them. Just like the guy, I can't recruit into doing anything that if it wasn't for him, I would not be standing here talking to you for any reason, because he's the dude that walked up to me on the dock at Roadway Express 29 years ago and said, I worked for a guy named Art Williams. And I said, man, that's pretty cool. What does he do? He says, sells life insurance. I said, throw up. 29 years later here, they gave me a chance to stand before you. Ladies and gentlemen, you can change your life if you have enough why, if you find a mentor, and if you become a mentor. Otherwise, you're kidding yourself. Jim.